What's up, everybody? My name is Kafa. It's good to see you again. I'm glad you could be here. Alright, so what we're going to be doing today is an earth sign reading that is for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I created something that I would like to be known as a divine masculine approach to tarot. And in order to showcase it to the community, I had to become a reader. So this is my journey. I hope you can, enjoy with me. I'm glad you can be here with me on my journey. So let's get to it. This is going to be an earth sign reading, so it's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And before we get started, I wanted to give a little explanation of what the Zin-Finity Board is, and then a little brief explanation of what I'm reading for and what the energies are on this board in general. So let's move this over here. The Zin-Finity Board is a divination multitool that allows the reader as well as the viewers to ethereally project conscious tarot, a place to see your cards come alive and consciously act out the role they play. Some readers are extremely gifted and can read these cards filthy. We already know that. But what if the cards can put on a show? What would they tell you then? Now, on this board, the cards are conscious. The cards are playing roles. Imagine that I was the Fool card and I'm placed on the crown. That means I'm playing the role of the crown. I have a crown costume on as the Fool and I'm playing this role. So that's what's happening along all of these points on the board. Right, so let's explain the points really quickly. The points on the board goes as follows. So here is how the energy is lined up. Starting from the crown, going down to Malkut on the tree of life, right? You have Kether to Malkut. Kether to Malkut, crown to earth, right? So let's count it. Kether, Bina, Hokmah, Da'at, Geburah, Chesed, Tiferet, Netzach, and Hod, Yesod, and then Malkut, right? When it comes up to the body, mind, spirit, and soul, which is this triangle right here, the crown double as the space of the soul. Those are the four domains of the mind, of the mind in general. And as such, this shape determines how the mind operates with itself. So using this method, you can understand how, let me bring it back up. You have the mental energy, the physical energy, the dark energy, the light energy. This is the energy of going in or contraction, right? Going within. Desire, going within to find out what you want, and then you come out of it to find out what you will do with it, right? So this will has to do with expansion, going outwards, right? Expanding, becoming something greater, right? Then you have the elements that we're all familiar with: fire, air, water, earth, right? But when it comes on this board, you look at it through seasons. Winter, which is water; spring, air; fire, summer; earth is fall, right? Body, mind, spirit, and as I said before, the soul. And now we have all of the components of what the mind can actually process. There's nothing else that the mind can actually process. Everything that's outside of the circle is information that you are not ready for in expansion. So when you figure out yourself at this level, then you expand. Sometimes people expand before they need to, and then they can't hold it up. They can't keep what they have. They can't, finish the job because you were supposed to. I don't know if that was for somebody right now. Maybe you need to do more training. It's just what it is. You know how to say study to show that self-approve? You have to train the same way too. I don't know what kind of training you're doing, but yeah. Alright. So when it comes up to the soul, as I said, it was this triangle. You have the super ego, the super conscious, super ego. You have the super conscious in this triangle right here. Then you have the id, or the identity, or then you have the ego, which is on this side. The identity has to do with the zodiac. The ego has to do with your personality, or you can call it the Enneagram. You can look it up. It's the Enneagram. I'm gonna put it on the screen. So look up your personality type, and you can actually find out some of the things. You know, when you do research about yourself, when you look into yourself, you find out things about yourself, and you unlock power. So study who you are. Don't be afraid to show it. That's for somebody. Yeah, so I believe that's explained. I'm gonna just put this over here. So I have a couple of messages for the earth signs, and it goes as follows. I'm gonna save the best message, which is the title, gonna be the title of this reading, but let me go forward with it. This first message is a thought that I had during, well, not a thought that I had. One of my friends, she's an earth sign. We had a conversation one day, and she told me about values and attitudes. It's crazy how this came up to my mind when I needed something earthy to talk about, right? Because I checked my chart. There's no earth there. But what does that mean? I can basically figure out where all the earth is, how they're doing. It's like I can feel you guys 100% all the way, because it's the absence of where I'm not. Everywhere, basically, a conversation that I had with one of my friends a while ago, maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago. I don't even know. I don't remember. It's before the whole pandemic. So we had got into a conversation about values and attitudes. Now, when I heard it initially, I thought I knew what it meant. I did know what it meant, but it didn't hit me until later in my life, right? Values. Well, if you have an attitude towards something, it's not that bad. You know, it's like, I can just deal with it. Let me just leave that over there. Attitude towards it, it's okay. I can deal with it. Or like, this can change. It's just not gonna bother me that much. But when you value something, whatever anybody or you're doing that you don't accept, it bothers you times 20. It bothers you so much you can't even sleep. So that's the difference between values and attitudes. But when it comes to the self, what you value is very important, because it's not like you cannot value it. So whoever you're with has to value the things that you value too. Not as they have to accept it, but they have to know that that's who you are, right? So values and attitudes. Think about that really quickly. Moving on. Boo or buoy? Y'all know what a buoy is, right? And most people know what a buoy is. In the water, you see that thing floating, right? That's a buoy. That little thing that just be floating all the time is connected, is anchored to the bottom of the seafloor with a chain that keeps it floated, right? So it's not like it's gonna move, it's just gonna hold place in the water, right? Boo or buoy? And you understand what water is. Water is all emotional. So let's move on. Also, well, here's where you guys come into play when it comes up to the earth signs. Let me get it. Like for the other signs, I drew this out. Now I just wanted to show you what it looks like for the earth. And here it is. I'm sure for the people who understand the tree of life, they have Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, plus Malkuth. Now I'm going to explain Malkuth in a second, but let's just look at that really quickly. Put it in this one, maybe somebody can see it better. And let's get to it. Alright. So you can understand that the tower is significant with the earth signs also, just like the air signs. The tower is a very significant process. Air and earth is very significant. And they're also opposites. So if that helped you just now, understand what the mind does to your body. Right? You're thinking too much, you're not moving your body. You moving your body too much, you're not thinking. So it's about a balance. So I just wanted to show that really quickly, and also talk about the next message. Earth signs have the highest, I want to say, affinity, but there's another word to it. Highest attraction to all things mana, due to manifestation, right? So mana, everybody knows what mana is. I can call it quintessence, I can call it prana, I can call it anything, right? But for now we're going to call it mana. How to explain this? An earth sign will go into a market and pick out the best fruit, the fruit that will give you the most benefit, right? That's an earth sign specialty. An earth sign will know exactly where to go to get themselves, done up perfectly. An earth sign will know exactly where to go to get the best service. The best is the best of the best of the best of the best of the best, right? Y'all know where it is. But that's all things mana, because you get the most experience out of those best experiences that you have. So understand that you're attracted to high energetic activities and things that are around you. Why? Because that's just nature. The earth is opposite the ether. Let me explain it this way. The source is here at the crown, and then the earth or Malkut is here. And this is where the mana comes from, right? All manifestation, right? So let's just say you eat that apple, right? It speaks to your heart. But the mana of it all will get you abundance. You know what I mean? But we're just talking about a simple apple. This can come in events. This can come in like random, like habits even. It's all over there. It's all over the place. It can come in different ways. Understand what you're doing and the high energetic effect that it has. So when it comes up to other people, what you decide to do has a high energetic effect on them, because you know where it is. You know where that energy is. It's almost like if there were pressure points, you would be very good at giving massages because you know where the energy is. You can like almost feel it and see it. So I hope with that explanation analogy, you can understand what earth signs are really, really, really good at. So yeah. Now when it comes up to the topic of this reading, it's Temple Run. Now everybody's played Temple Run. I don't care who you are. You played Temple Run. You played Temple Run before you played Subway Surfer. Temple Run was one of the first ones, right? Now, what was it about this game that struck me a long time ago? I got a message a long time ago. I said this would probably be a good story to say somewhere, but I never knew where, and now I'm here and I have a place for it. So I'm excited because it's been in my head for a long time. Probably slipped out a few times, but whatever. Temple Run. What are you running away from? Your temple, the body. The body is a whole bunch of earth. That's the earth signs domain, right? Running away from your temple is the worst thing you can do for anybody. It's the absolute worst thing you could do from the earth sign. So understand, there's that guy running, right? Then there's that monkey that's chasing him. But before any of that happens, they take a gem out of the temple and start running with it. So that's your power. I understood the gem now as the Philosopher's Stone. But for you guys, this is the architecture of your mind. This is how you use your power. So that gem is your power, and that guy running is you, your ego, right? Running away from your shadow. But your shadow, once okay, people always think the shadow is a bad thing, but there's talk now of the shadow being, they call it the dark night of the soul. For what reason? Your shadow kind of engulfs you, and the only light that you see is yourself. Your shadow is so important in coloring all of that bullshit so you can see only yourself and your power. That's your shadow. I hope that helps people out. So don't look at your shadow as something that you're supposed to hide from, run away from. Sit with your shadow and figure yourself out. Figure out your power. Learn yourself. Learn about the things that trigger you, tick you off, right? Your shadow knows about this manifestation and all the high mana content that you're attracted to too. Your shadow knows too. But that means your ego can use it. So let's get back to the temple run, right? This guy is running away from the temple fantastically, right? And it's us. We are the ones doing this shit, right? So God was speaking to me. Your temple is where you're supposed to like cultivate and, you know, make flourish and all this other stuff, while we running away from it, only to find so many obstacles in our way and getting so good at the obstacles that it becomes second nature. You don't even realize that the shadow is right behind you, trying to get back to you, trying to get you back to your temple, trying to get you back to yourself, right? It goes, what happens if you can slow down the whole process of temple run? What kind of game would it be then? When you leave the temple, you're exploring what's outside of you, right? Instead of doing it all so fast, you can take your time, you can calculate, you can deliberate, you can do all the things, you can gather materials, you can be prepared. It's all in preparation. Now, when you get to these obstacles, you can also stop because you don't have to rush, because you're prepared. You don't have to do anything. Now you can see this tree in the way. You can see this cliff there. You can see that thing that you need to jump 20 feet in the air to grab, but you can do it because we're powerful like that, right? And then you can take your time with your path. Everything becomes less blurry and you get more quality out of life. You can see the trees that you're passing. Oh, this tree fell because of this. Maybe you can fix that, right? This analogy goes everywhere for me, and I can't even get the cards out yet. So let's do that. I could keep going, but I just had to slow down temple run for everybody real quick so we can understand. Oh, let me not even mess this up. So we can understand, you know, what's up. Important thing to know about the air. The air, over a long period of time, moves mountains. So understand that mountain as your body. It chips away at your beauty. It chips away at what you are, what you're supposed to be, for a good or a bad thing. But your mind is actually affecting your body more than you know. So be careful of your thoughts, because these thoughts, oh, see, look at this. In my opinion, oh man, I can't even get past it. These thoughts are at these nodes right here, and you need these processes of the major arcana to filter them and even the energies out. So I hope you understand how I'm understanding tarot. I just had to do that. Yeah, that's it with the messages. Hopefully you got something from that, and we're gonna move on to the actual cards. So I split this reading up into 3 parts, right? And I'm gonna go through the explanation very quickly so you can get an understanding of it. So first is Viscera Vitalis, and that's bringing the ether energy or prana, right, from ether to desire, so you can understand what you want truly, your true desire, right? Then next is the potential energy. It brings your desire to your will, the energy from your desire to your will. This is a place where, this is the part of the reading where we go over some of the affinities and where the energies are off and what needs work, right? These spaces will show themselves according to what the card, whether it be fire, air, water, earth, if they can be there, if they're allowed to be there. If they're not, we pluck more cards over them in that process. And let's just say I keep plucking on one space, right? I keep plucking on one space, and it would just keep showing me that this fire area, the place I was pointing at, needs a lot of work, right? So your rhythm needs a lot of work. When it comes into the earth sign and the fire, earth and fire are neutral to each other. Right? The fire is rhythm. So you're neutral. Earth signs are naturally neutral to doing something for themselves or not doing something for themselves. So not a lot of sway mental. Okay. Stubbornness. It took me a long time to get there. I don't know why. That's crazy. The stubbornness quality of an earth sign in general allows or helps other people's ideas and emotions around what you're going to do for yourself not matter. Like, okay, and it's only going to chip at me in the long run, right? But I can make so many decisions. That's the earth sign right there. That mental, anything that anybody's telling you right now, it does not hurt you. It does not actually hurt you. It's just chipping away a little bit. They're trying to get a little bit of you. Piece off, you know. Whoever this is around you right now is picky. That's what I want to say. Very picky. Very, very picky. So before I forget, this is Viscera Vitalis, from ether to desire. From desire to will is the Pneuma effect. From the will to ether is the star stream, right? So will to ether is about the process of experimentation, expression, what is that, integration, transcendence, and then back to your aspiration. So when you do the cycle of those things, when you experiment with things, when you express it, when you integrate it, and when you transcend through the process, basically you'll get back to your abundance. I didn't explain the ether, but this is basically the seat of your aspiration. The crown is the seat of you, which is the listener, the one who's being read for. This is my seat because this is where you're supposed to, this is where the energy is coming from. I'm supposed to give you a little light on where you are supposed to take yourself. So this is only guidance. Take it how it resonates, right? I'm supposed to give perspective, basically about my life experiences and what I'm called to say at the moment to get you to move on your own life. So let's get some of these cards out so we can get the first process, which is called Viscera Vitalis. Okay, so the first two cards out. Put it this way. One. Alright. In the place of the crown, you have the Five of Swords. So this place is supposed to have fire because it's the place of the soul. That's that's emanation energy, right? That's a place that's divine energy. So divine energy is being not blocked, but you can't grow. It's being held or supported by some mental energy. So meaning, let's get some of these cards out. Let's get some of these cards out because I already see where this is going. There's a lot of fighting, but it's in your mind over what you want to do for yourself. There are people that have gotten to you somehow, some way. They figured it out. They figured out exactly what to say. But now, all these retrogrades happening. There's a lot going on with transitions right now. We're transitioning into a whole new era, a whole new energy. And that basically means that people can't hold you to the same standards unless they change up, but you're growing at the same time. So how they gonna keep up with you? Okay. The 10. And in the dark position was the 8 of Pentacles. In the light position was the 10 of Pentacles. So, okay. Is your spirit a servant? Or does your spirit help you side by side? Your energy is not to be used. Somebody is taking advantage of what they know about you. See, I can't speak. Somebody is taking advantage of what they know about you. But the thing is, where you're going, they can never get. Okay, yeah. They cannot get to you because you're constantly building on who you are. And also, on the side of that, they can't get to where you're going because they can't even comprehend who you are now. It's that simple. Anybody that's supposed to be with you on your journey will comprehend who you are. Like, they'll be able to keep up with you regardless. They're just for you. It's like, no matter what, you can't get away from them. They are going to be there your whole life, no matter whoever you had an argument with recently, whether it be your best friends. I'm not talking about relationships right now. I'm talking about best friends and other people outside of that. The people that are in your village, not just in your heart can hold an abundant amount of people. Like, your heart is very big, right? But the people outside of you also have a place in your heart. They can't manipulate it as much to people in the relationships. So there's that. The lovers wanted to show themselves, just as I said it. So that's crazy. And just so everybody knows, I'm only reading up right for now. When I get to, okay, yeah. The Empress. There's a lot of earth energy here you guys are representing. When it comes up to what's coming towards you, it's for you and nobody else. It's like God is gonna single you out and bless you in front of everybody, and it's gonna be non-debatable. It's gonna be something so non-debatable that you're just gonna sit there and be stuck like, this is awkward. You blessed me so hard, God, that it became awkward. Like, I don't even know what to do in the presence of my enemies because you blessed me so hard. And you put me here. I didn't want to be here. That's how hard God is going to bless you. It's going to make everything awkward. It's going to make all your enemies stand still. And watch this. Look what flew out. Then you have the Tower. Okay. And okay, look at it. All right, as you can see where this is going. In your desire, there's a Tower moment, because I can say it this way: you've been manipulated to build something in your life that wasn't for you, and not like you didn't have the clue, like it wasn't for you, not like you didn't see all the red flags, not like you didn't see it, but you blindly went towards it because, like I said, this mana that we were talking about, and the fact that you think that you're going to miss out with this temple run I'm thinking about right now, that's why we're running so hard. We think we're going to miss out on the goal. But there's no goal. You just live. There's no end to that. It just keeps going. So what is there to get to? Why are you running so fast? Take your time. You came here to experience. Don't rush the experience. You won't get all the information you need. You won't get everything out of it. Chill. And when you decided to do that for yourself, the people that are around you had you build those things in your life so they can use it. And you're a good builder because you know what's good. You know what to build. You know exactly what brick to use where, because you are an earth sign. Right? You got what, okay, yeah. I'm not even making this up. Alright? We're just gonna keep going. I'm not even gonna talk about money until we get to the second part of the reading. I'm not even gonna talk about it, because this guy is almost giving crumbs to this next person. He got so much. Hopefully, he's good in his ego. So that might be a warning to me. You're about to get a lot of abundance. You're about to get a lot of money. And the 6 is beauty. It's gonna be beautiful the way God sets you up. The thing I've been saying to God recently is, thank you for setting me up, God. Anytime that anything bad happens to me, I'm starting to say, thank you for setting me up, God, because you know me, and you know I need to see something right now. There's something for me to learn. Thank you for setting me up. And it almost like said, it's like giving God, like, God is not anxious, right? But what if he was? Like, I don't want to do this to you because you might break. Right? So if it was okay to do that thing to you, you'll grow faster, right? Make it easy for God to teach you. Truth does not hurt that much. It literally just corrects you. Alright. Oh, 60. Oh, got the hangman on the bottom of the deck. I was setting my stuff up. You have the magician in the spirit. So the magician is an air sign, right? That means that it's in infinity. So, whoa. Oh man. It's almost like thoughts of gold, like golden thoughts. Ideas that are coming towards you directly from your soul. Directly from God. Like, it's just straight from God. Wow. I'm going to do this. And I know this was the download. That's how it's going to feel. You about to basically go into some things you're probably a little nervous of. But it's for you. You have everything that you need. Clearly, you have all the money that you need. You're going to. If you don't right now, know that you're going to. And the more that you know you're going to, the more it comes to you because it's safe to be around you. Everything is energy, right? So is money. And if it's energetic, that means it's conscious too. And remember what I said about this mana? That's an energy too. What are you manifesting? What are you creating in your life? Ooh. I'm not even joking about all this earth that's coming up. The Justice, the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Moon. It's just too many. Alright. So, okay. I just mentioned it and it flew out. The Nine of Wands. Okay. I'm realizing something. There's no water here yet. There's a little air. There's some fire. A lot of earth. But where's the water? Where's the emotions? Are you choosing not to feel? That's not making it better, because when you chose not to feel, you weren't figuring out what you needed, what you wanted, what you truly desired. Because feelings are in the water, right? And your heart is here. But air and water, using these lines according to this, equals your desire. So you need to feel some things. Don't be afraid to feel. Maybe you've had some experiences that really tore you down. Can be, okay. 8. Okay. Fool came up reverse, but let's look at it, The spool. There's a thing called spooling with printers, right? Before you get something started, you have to pre-download it into the system. So this is a whole download, and it comes through you being free. The more free you are, the more free you are, the more downloads come towards you. And these downloads are about how you get to yourself. These downloads are for your abundance. These downloads are for your protection. Also, I don't know why that came up. Oh, okay. Death card. Alright. Death card is in the space of the air. And that's Tiferet, the sun, your polarity. And the death card is a water sign. So I was looking for the emotions, and this is where it first shows itself. Oh man. Thinking that you're going to feel a way before it happens is stopping you from actually experiencing the thing, where you would then come to find that there were different emotions attached to it. How can you know? how you're gonna feel when you experience something. How could you truly know? Like, until you eat that burger that your friend was eating for that last year, you won't know. Your friend is just gonna be boasting about it. Oh, this is great, this is great, this is great. And until you eat it, you won't know for yourself, right? You had emotions on it. Let me not say that you had emotions on it. If it was something that you didn't like, and you was like, ugh, why are you eating this, right? And your friend was just saying, oh, you should eat this. You should put that ketchup on that thing that doesn't supposed to have ketchup. And it wound up busting your head. And you sitting there like, I should have did this. I should have been doing this a year ago, right? Now it's the death of all that. Since you're being more free with who you are, thinking the emotions out instead of actually feeling them is non-existent in your life anymore. So you are looking towards the experiences that you either had before, maybe go into some of the things that you've been doing before, some of the things that you used to do that gave you how about this? This is what I'm getting right now. Re-experience some of the best things that you've done in your life. Because maybe some of them were for you to like not create habits with, but there are good habits too. You might need to find some of the things that you like that you can do more often. I don't know, maybe to express these feelings. You know how dancing, you can release some of that energy? So that's what I'm talking about right now. Find things that you release energy with. Some hobby that you have that takes your mind off of it. That's releasing too. It's like, find more things to do that keep you out of your mind and more using your body. Because I'm starting to see what the emotions are right now. Emotions are very important in manifestation. Think of emotions as water. And if you don't have water for a plant, for a seed, will it grow? It would just be sitting there under the dirt, waiting for you to fill it out, waiting for you to water it, right? So understand where that's coming from. Feelings are very important. And that means other people's feelings are very important too. I don't know why I said other people's feelings. Whoever's around you is making you think that their feelings are more important than yours. The Page of Wands in your fire. That's perfect. This gives me the idea of you are just coming into your power. This is the reason for that Tower moment and a desire. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You figured it out, what you actually wanted. Tower's not always a bad thing. And understand, the Tower is your specialty. Hold and Netsak has to do with the solar plexus. But that whole line, let me show it again. This whole line right here, between these two right here, Netsak and Hold, both have earth signs in them. And I bring that up to say that your Tower moments are the most beautiful, are the most like epiphany-like. So remember how I said you were going to be set up by God, put into some place to be seen by all your enemies, highly protected, and just sitting there like it was awkward, like nobody's gonna attack me? Because they can't, because you've grown past them. They can't attack you now. And now you're just sitting here all beautiful with all this abundance coming towards you now that you know who you are. This is gonna speak, so let's keep going. It's gonna keep speaking. Okay. Okay. The Lovers came back out. So here we go with that. The Lovers is an air card. Still not much emotion. But the air card is in your mind. But we can understand why the water is here. In my research, the death card has to do with the intestines. Ugh. It's almost like you have to go through some of the... You project your emotions. You project the emotions that you're going to feel. So you don't even want to go through the thing. Imagine it's like you know what you are about to experience and you don't want to go through with it. But you need to do it in order to learn to get past it. So it's like that standstill. I don't want to do it, but I need it. Those two conflicting thoughts. We're going to get into this really quickly. No. This one. The Knight of Wands is in your earth. Okay. The lack of water here with the emotions on this board, this whole side is supposed to have some kind of water in it. It does, but only in one place, and that's the Death card. So as we get into the next portion, we'll go deeper into the meanings of what we see here. And the next portion is called the Pneuma effect. So here we go with it. Starting from the crown. Now, here's where I get the definitions of the meanings, so I can move on from there. So before I was just going on face value, but now I'm going to get some help from the slots that I had here already. So the Pneuma effect is about the potential energies, right? We can understand what's here. This is the gut health. But what can you do to fix it? Potentially, what can you do to fix it? So this is what we're going to go over now. For the space of the crown, this has to do with mentalism, empathy, unity, awareness, understanding, the right to know and learn, the challenge of attachment, detachment, and the identity is universal. So, universally, this is supposed to be fire. So, let's get with that. Let's see what that means. It's crazy. Alright, so the potential to fix, or what you have in store, what you can work on when it comes to your empathy, your sense of unity, is the Three of Wands. Now, this completes this because the soul is of emanation energy, and that's fire, right? There's the divine, there's absolute, then there's Bariya, Yatsira, and Asya. That's fire, water, air, earth, right? So first is fire. Now, since this is finished, we can go into the actual definition of the cards. Alright, so from the Five of Swords to the Three of Wands. There was a lot of people telling you, like I said before, what you think you should be doing with your life. And that was causing you to build things in your life that you weren't meant to hold up. It was actually for them. So if it seems like you're being pushed out the way, you were supposed to, and that was a plan. But the thing is, God don't put you through things that you are not ready for to fix or to get through. So what is it about that thing that you created that showed you your gift? You were able to create something for somebody that they can use. How about you do that again and sell it? That analogy might come different for what you're going through, but creating it again and then intentionally giving it to somebody for some kind of energetic profit. It don't have to be money. It could be for some kind of like applause, you know, or for somebody to, or for a group of people to notice you. Let's say if you were doing like an art show or something like that. That's what I'm getting. Presentation effect, value. So you went from pleasing everybody to what? Exactly. So he symbolizes established strength, enterprise, effort, trade, discovery, commerce. Those are his ships being his merchandise, which is sailing over the sea. So now that you found through your enemies are so important because they always expose your gifts. Because they're so obvious with it. I need you, after a while, when you ask the right questions, when you stay to yourself, when you are more selfish, right? Not selfish as in like, I'm going to take this for myself and I'm not going to share with anybody because I don't want to, right? It's like calm selfishness. You know what? I'm going to do this for myself. And if I have a little time, you know, I can decide to do something for somebody else, right? It's more like, let me make sure I'm good, because if I'm not good, I can't be good for nobody else kind of selfishness. And that's the way you need to be regardless, because how can you help anybody? How can you make anything for anybody? How can you discover anything about yourself well, you can discover things about yourself all the time. These wands is getting to me. So you're slowly becoming who you are, and it's going to take a long time to get those thoughts. It's more like programming other people's fears out of your head. Yeah. It'll be the death of me if I did this. It'll be the death of me if I did this. It'll be the death of me if I did this, right? And that's nothing but the devil holding your time, taking your time, and that time is yours. The time is precious. You're stopping it because of the belief that other people know what's right for you. So moving on from there, let's go. So it's not much work to do with your soul. Just be patient with yourself. That's what I'm getting right now. So the process here is to be patient with yourself. And moving on, and to also be patient with the process. You understand a lot of things, but there's understanding and there's overstanding. So maybe patience is the only thing that gets you to those levels, right? And experiences, right? If this is a person that's not afraid to experience, he done everything, or she done everything, and is waiting, just like for the rest of it. Like, okay, now that I done finished the test before everybody else, now what? I'm just waiting for the new test. Y'all done? Where's my 100? Where's my, that's the kind of energy it's giving me. Oh wow. I don't want to do that. So I lifted up my book, and this card flew out, the Knight of Swords. But I'm not going to do it because it wasn't legal for me. But the Knight of Swords is speaking to me right now. And yeah, what am I even drawing for? How about that? After the crown, you have dark and light, basically correspondence, same time. You can decide which way it came out first, but in order for there to be one, it had to be the other, right? And they almost appeared at the same time, right? Let's go from the dark side first, because this has to do with what you need. The light side has to do with what you want. And another way you can understand it is what's coming towards you and the path that's lined up for you with your light side, your path lined up for you for you to get what's coming towards you, right? So let's see about that. This also is dark, which is the law of correspondence, as I said, the sense of intuition. So sensing what's for you, imagining what's for you. But how can you imagine if you can't get past your heart? You have to allow yourself to experience the things. There's only so much that imagination can do. You need to be physical with some of the things that you think that are for you, There's only so much imagination it can do. And the magician is here in your spirit. You got a lot of imagination. You have no lack of imagination. That's a good thing and a bad thing. Imagination towards the dark side of things and imagination towards the light side of things. Control your mind, because that affects your body. For the dark, you have the 8 of Pentacles, and that is out of affinity. The earth is supposed to be on this side. Water and air is supposed to be on this side. And when it comes into the equilibrium has multiple parts. At the bottom is supposed to be earth. Here is supposed to be fire, which it is now. And over here it's gonna be air. Now when it comes up, it can be air or water. Why? Sorry. It can be fire or air. So you can see how this is making sense. It's the Empress, which is earth. But we're not up to that yet. Let's get down the line, down the energy line. So maybe that was the reason for that night. Okay. The 3 of Pentacles still doesn't fix it. This is giving me a dam vibe. You know how dams stop the flow of water, right? So what you were building in your life, the things that other people were manipulating you into building for yourself, into creating for yourself, the way that they think that you should operate, is actually clogging up your spiritual, call it a waterfall, your river, the river of abundance. Is blocking it up because you're not in your right path. You weren't in your right path, right? But since you're deciding to be patient with yourself and not rely on other people's thoughts, which is, the funny thing is, as I said before, I knew this air sign, this air was going to be off, and it wound up being off. It's just, yeah. Oh no. The High Priestess. It's like things are falling out of place into place. It's a frustrating experience, right? Alright. Still doesn't fix it. So, I hope that was on camera, right? Justice is an air card. Alright, so here we go. There's a lot of talk about when it comes up to the dark side of correspondence, which is the things that are aligned for you, the things that are coming towards you. Right, so we have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Three of Pentacles, followed by the Eight of Wands, and then followed by the Justice card. So luckily it ends up with some justice, and that's in the right place. Luckily it ends up with justice, and that's in the right place. I didn't even show you the cards, so let me just show you again. Alright, so let me explain these in order. The challenge is illusion. So there's been a lot of illusions in front of you, right? But the objective is reality. So the justice is about your reality, and everything else has to do with illusions, right? So let's get to it. The Eight of Pentacles, work, employment, commission, craftsmanship, skill and craft and business. Doing things that you're not even supposed to be doing for somebody else. I was saying this before. It's showing itself right now, right? I was saying that already. Diligently working for something else that's not for you. It's just taking up so much of your spiritual energy. You can't manifest the things for yourself. You ain't got nothing left. But you think that what you're doing is for you. It's just these illusions that people have either taught you since you were young, or things that you have come to know and love just during life. The Eight of Pentacles is followed by the Three. Métier, trade, skill is followed by the Three of Pentacles, and that's métier, trade, skilled labor, usually however regarded as a card of nobility, aristocracy, I always say that word wrong, renown, glory, right? So what you were building that wasn't for you had you thinking it was going to give you this limelight. Let's just put it that way. It was going to give you everything you wanted. But that's other people's thoughts that you allow in your mind to take control over your will. But like I said, not anymore. So let's talk about what happened after that. You're very good at what you did too. This diligent work is like people came to you because you can do it so well. If that was sexual, then it was sexual, right? Well, the Eight of Wands, activity and undertakings, the path of such activity, swiftness, that of an express messenger, great haste, great hope, speed towards an end, which promises assured felicity, right? So these things that was going to promise you everything that you thought you was going to get, all the abundance, oh, God allowed me to go this way, which he did, for you to learn. That's what God allows you to do, learn. Which way you went about it, getting that lesson, You could have had a good time, you could have had a bad time. You could have had a okay time. But regardless, God sent you to experience something and learn something. Right? Working so hard and fast for something that's not going to give you so much. This came up in my mind for the people who are experiencing ED, ginseng, and sea moss. I forgot what it was called just now. That goes for both parties, because some people, this has to do with flow. You ran yourself until the point where you couldn't go no more, and then you had to sit down because you had no more energy. But once you decided to sit down, this is how funny God works. Your enemies think that they're benefiting off of you, but everything that trickles from what they think that they're getting is actually still giving you your abundance, because it's for you. It's just a method that it gets to you, right? Which method is it going to take? Yeah, that's the funny thing. They ran you until you had no more energy, and once you were depleted, that's when God said, you finished? You want to listen to me now, God? This is what God said. You want to listen to me now? Okay, so sit there on your throne. Wherever you fell out, that was your throne, right? If it was you fell on your face, throne. Just throne, right? Whatever you finish, that's the throne, right? Alright. And all of that is followed by the Justice card, which is equity, righteousness, probity, executive, triumph of the deserving side in law. So this karma, beautiful karma that's coming towards you, but towards your enemies, the people who use you, they're going to have to work for you. It's almost like the people who use you is going to have to work for you. Exactly what they're doing after you create that beautiful thing, after you present that beautiful thing to the situation, and they misuse it and abuse it, and then look at you like there's supposed to be more. Like, what are you doing? Looking at you like it's your fault. But yeah, let's move on from there. After the Justice card, this whole section is cleared and handled, so you understand what's blocking you and what you need to do to get what you need. Nothing. Sit there now. You've done enough. Sit there. Alright, follow in the dark. You have the light, of course. And this is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, this is an infinity. So let's look at it. This has to do with what you want and how you get towards it. Right? Gain, riches, family matters, archives, extraction, the abode of a family. Alright. So, okay. Y'all know about how bow and arrow works, right? You pull the string, right? And then you release it. And then it goes this way for however long the strength was, right? And the angle and all that other stuff. Now, on the dark side, right? You had a lot of force. You had a lot holding you back. But on the light side, the thing that's going to be your catalyst, the thing that's going to get you towards your abundance, it's filled with just like nothing but ease. It's almost like you've done all the work, and all that work was through your enemies, supplying your enemies. So when it was time for you to work for yourself, it was like you already had what you needed. You hear that so many times, but it's so true. Oh man, it's so true. I would even taunt those words. I don't have what I need. I'm looking around. I would look around. I would just start cleaning, looking around like, where is it, God? You said I had it. I'm tired of you saying that, right? It goes out of my mouth for some days, and the next thing you know, it's right there. Right there. It could have been a thought. It could have been something that was under the bed, right? The only place you didn't look. Yeah. So that's what this is giving me right now. But now that you have the time to look for it, now that you have the time to clean up, it's not so scattered. You have order. You have like a sure process, a step to get to what you need. It's almost like the roadmap is so clear, you can close your eyes and go to sleep like it's on cruise control. That's what I was getting. Cruise control. Alright. So that's it for your light spaces. That's it for your light space. Let's move on to the ether. The Empress is sitting in the ether. And as I said before, the Empress needed to be, the ether space is supposed to be fire or air. And the Empress is an earth card. So this is not going to be doing a good job here. But it's here for a reason. Let's see it. And this is your aspiration. This is the house of your aspiration and what you came here for. The thing that's going to give you your abundance. The thing that's going to, the knowledge that's going to spark you to move on your life. It's coming through this Empress right here. So hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from with this. So let's see it. Fruitfulness, action. And first off, before I get there, I almost forgot. We gotta fix this energy right here because it's earth and it's supposed to be fire or air. I started laughing immediately because I saw it. Fire. The sun is in your ether. Imagine the most beautiful day with the sun is out. It's just no clouds, just sun, and it's not that hot. You got a good enough wind. There's enough trees around you. The trees seem to be like just like shading you as you go by. That's what this is giving me. This guy is completely naked on a white horse. Might as well be a unicorn, and just having a la 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 day, like kind of day. You're after bliss, and you will achieve it. But let me talk about this Empress and why that's not supposed to be here. This is a great card. Major Arcana. Empress has to do with Bina and Hokmah, right? Wow. The Empress has to do with the balance of the light and the dark energies inside yourself. So where you wanted to go in your mind was the right thing. The reason, like, you were on the right path, you just couldn't see it because you decided to go on the dark side of the right path. Get it? The dark side of the right path. Still there. It looks like you need to go all the way like this on the dark side. On the light side, it's a straight movement. On the dark side, it's probably a whole bunch of different paths that's not even for you. But you're still going in the same direction. All leading to the same place. And this sun card is telling me that right now. So now that we got the ether handled, let's read from the Empress to the Sun. Fruitfulness, action, initiative, length of days, the unknown, clandestine, also difficulty, doubt, ignorance, right? That's what it is right here. Doubt that you couldn't be patient with yourself, and doubt that it was going to take too long for you to get where you wanted. So other people's methods seem more attractive to you. But, you know, we getting light on this situation right now, and you're seeing where the fault could have been. I don't like putting fault because we are all here to learn. There's no such thing as fault. It's something that happened that's information that you use. I know that seemed like desensitized, but when you don't want somebody to affect you, you turn all that into information. It's just information. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for expressing your feelings. It's just information. So think of it that way. What are they trying to tell you? What was the reason? What was the cause? Just turn everything negative into information. And that's how you eat it. That's how you eat the information. On this side of the board is negative. On this side of the board is positive. In the middle is neutral. Naturally, right? When you eat it, it goes all the way to desire. So now you have the information on what happened to make different moves. You understand that? If you allow the emotions to take hold of you, they circulate in yourself and generate heat, and generate dis-ease in your body, in your mind, soul, spirit, whatever, however you want to see it. So hopefully that made sense. Let's get on to the sun. We went from doubt and ignorance, right? You ignored yourself, doubted yourself. Oof. And how can you see through illusion? How can you see reality if you're doubting yourself? You don't even know where you fit. Other people can't fit you for yourself. You are a puzzle piece that God created, and the only thing that can fit there is your path. It's like, hope you understand that. That was a little weird, but yeah. To the sun. Alright. Instead of working so hard for everybody else, you decided to work very hard for yourself. But at the same time, you was doubting, this is not gonna work. You're working so hard for yourself that God is just like, just finish it. Just finish it. You'll see. You'll see. Then you'll have confidence. This is where it's coming from. God is giving you a boost of confidence that's so divine. No, everybody's gonna be looking at you like you a big ass light coming through a dark room. Just like, oh man. Imagine if somebody's eyes glowed in the dark. That's how you're gonna be looking, but also the whole body glowed. It's just a lot of beauty. You're just gonna be looked at like it's no tomorrow. So understand how much attention that can bring you and move with it. Don't let it control you. That's a whole bunch of limelight. So we understand that stardom, that level of stardom, and what comes with it. And it says contentment. So don't let it take control of you. You're gonna be put in a position, and the ego is gonna be like, the ego is gonna be like, I can do this, and I can do this, I can do this. And screw this guy, and fuck her. Not like, you're gonna have so much power to get back at everybody, but that is only gonna be giving them power. Why? Because you finished the cycle and you have that energy for yourself. You're only giving it to only go back to the cycle. I hope that makes sense. Alright? So, moving on from ether, you have desire, right? This is the tower, and the tower is a fire card. It is not in the right place, so let's see what card will go and fix this for us. Let's see. Page of Cups fell on the floor, right? So this completes this circuit, so the energy is allowed to move past. So understand what I'm doing with the affinities right now. When they are aligned, we can move on, because you have what you need mentally, physically. We're going to the physical right now. You'll see. You have what you need mentally to move on, because this whole process, the first process is a mental process. The second process it's more like, I'm not going to call it an equal process, but you have to go through the motions. You have to go, it's a time. It takes time, right? But yeah, let's move on, so I don't lose track. So, I already talked about the tower and how it's important to have here. But here's the result of the tower is the Page of Cups. So your emotions, it's almost like you finally got your emotions under control. It's like this guy is talking to the fish. You're talking to yourself. Okay, Page of Cups. Let's see what it says. Well, first, tower. Misery, distress, indigence, adversity, calamity, disgrace, deception, ruin. It's a card in particular of the unforeseen catastrophe, right? You had a lack of confidence in yourself. So the things that you thought that you were going to do for your abundance seemed like it was going to actually tear you down. But this is where your enemies come into play. They It's not just your enemies. It can be programs. It could be the things that you watch. Sometimes the enemy doesn't show itself. Devil is very slick, right? Where is this programming coming from? What do you do on a daily basis? What do you listen to on a daily basis that makes you think these ways and cause you to have problems with some of the people that you're around? I guess I had to say that. But believing in yourself, now that you are believing in yourself, you have control over your emotions. So instead of feeling like there's going to be the death of me, right? We're going to fix this card. Well, no, we're not going to fix this card. This card is... You'll see when we get there. So let's just go to the Page of Cups. Fair, young man, one impelled to render service one impelled to render service and with whom the current would be connected. A studious youth, news, message, application, reflection, meditation. Also these things directed to business. The thing that stood out to me was a reflection. It's almost like you're going this temple run, right? Imagine just one day you look to your side and you see yourself going through this whole process, and you're like, you could have did this, 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 right? But noticing my vision is over here and I'm supposed to be running this way, right? I'm supposed to be running this way, but I'm looking this way. I'm gonna fail while you're having a hard time, right? So instead of thinking about what you can do now, you're looking at yourself and seeing how you could have done things differently. Instead of feeling so bad about it, you're using it as information, like I keep saying, to get through the process, to get through it. But these emotions, as you discover yourself, you learn what you need to do. So that's it with your desire. So let's move on to your will. Your will is the 6 of Pentacles. There's a lot of money on this board. We ain't even going to talk about the abundance. You see how it's just flowing out of you right now. Because people are around you getting it. Taking it from you. But now they're going to be begging to be around you. And to have little pieces of it. That's what this is giving me right now. The will is in infinity. So let's see what the 6 of Pentacles has to say. Presents, gifts, gratification. Another account says attention, vigilance. Now is the accepted time. Now is the accepted time. Present, prosperity, etc. Right? The structure of your life now compared to how it used to be is so fine, but you don't even realize it. Like, you are working perfectly with yourself now. Because you started to understand yourself. You decided to trust yourself. You decided to trust the process. You knew it was coming towards you. You had it the whole way. You had what it takes the whole time. But other people were sucking that energy out of you. Succubus type energy is giving me a succubus right now. Expect to be showered with gifts. That's not just gifts, they're tools. Expect to be showered with tools on your journey. Now that you know that you can take your time, you'll see all the things that you can build to help during the process, to help with these obstacles that are in your way. Remember, this is temple run. You're running away from yourself, but now you're exploring. Now you're starting to explore. You're connecting the dots and you're exploring. When you explore outside of yourself, instead of temple run outside of yourself, you get to stop and look around and see what's around you. You embrace it. You accept it. Like, it's like, if this monkey is going to get me, it's going to get me, and okay. And then next thing you know, when that monkey catches up to you, you figure out that it's your shadow, and your shadow holds all the energy that you need for your power. So you control the energy of your shadow with your mind. But you don't control your shadow. Your shadow is like a part of... So after will, you have the spirit, which is the magician, right? So looking at the magician is an air sign. The air is in the right place, so we don't have to worry about any potential things, any other energy that needs to be on this place. We can only read for it and know that we're in the right area. The Magician is on the place of the spirit, and we're going to look into that. The Magician is an air sign, air card, so it's in affinity, so we don't have to do anything with this spot. Your spirit is in order and it's helping you perfectly. So let's see what it says. Skill, diplomacy, address, subtlety, sickness, pain, loss, disaster, snares of enemies, self-confidence, will, the current if male. When you knew you had what it takes, you knew that your spirit is so powerful, you already knew that these people were around you for your spirit, but instead of using it for yourself and allow things to trickle around other people and other people get like the ends of everything, you gave them the best of everything, but the best of everything for yourself. But now that you know that, and you know how to treat yourself, you know how to treat yourself, so you treat yourself first. This is what it's giving me, and it's talking about snares. A contract comes in different forms, right? Just understand what a contract is. It's binding you to a certain thing in order to achieve something. But it's binding you. You are a boundless entity. How can you be bound? Alright, moving on from the Magician, you have the Nine of Wands in the mind. This is also in affinity, so there's nothing that needs to be done here. But let's look at what it says when it comes into the mind. The Nine of Wands, the card signifies strength in opposition. If attacked, he will meet the onslaught boldly. With this main significance, there are all its possible adjuncts, including delay, suspension, and adjournment. This is a process of you claiming your power back. You're almost at the point where the Page of Wands would be very significant, right? In your mind, you respect and you're starting to respect and understand the time it takes to be skillful in certain things. You have a natural ability in these skills. So don't think that just because you have this ability is enough. God gave you a gift to use and make, you can make better. You can make multiple things with one gift. Like, God gave us gifts, so we are supposed to transcend these gifts. Basically, use them to the point where you can level them up. Level up these gifts. Get them on level 100, or try to get there. Go towards that process, right? Learn yourself to the point where you can use yourself to your own abundance, your own glory, your own will, and get what you need to get done for yourself first before somebody can actually get to you. I understand we all have responsibilities, but there comes a point in time where a responsibility in your mind just takes from you. But the good news is almost finished, so let's go to the next part. The body. The body is represented by the Fool, right? This is on the space of equilibrium, so it's already giving me you are not, or being less afraid to do the things now. So you're doing the things that the people tell you, and you do yourself, and eventually you'll find some structure or some way to put it all together to erase some of the things that you don't need when it comes up to this Knight of Wands. So we're going to get to it. Knight of Wands is going to get rid of some of the things you don't need. So let's see what the Fool has to say in the place of the body. Folly, mania, extravagance, intoxication, delirium, frenzy, bereavement. Now, be careful not to be ignorant when you decide on some of these things, because you know if it's completely bad for you. You will know. Don't think that, oh, now that I'm doing everything, I can do this too. This was warranted, God. You allowed me to do this. What are you talking about? No. God did not allow you to do anything. You did it yourself. Yeah. So have discernment on what you can do. You know? Have discernment. But at the same time, don't be scared to put your foot in the water. So the Fool is an air card, and this is in the place of earth or water, right? You understand in this? So we have to fix this. What's the next process to this? What's the potential? So we are looking for... Too many came out. The Hierophant. This is an earth sign reading. Shout outs to the earth signs. And I just wanted to go over something real quick. The earth signs has to do with the things that involve with communication. So the events. Instead of connecting with the people, you connect with the events. You understand what I mean? You know exactly what the things... Okay, let me explain this correctly. It's like you guys already know what you can do. So, it doesn't seem like... Okay. So, when you look at Earth, on the Tree of Life, Earth is connected to Hod, Nitzak, and Bina. Bina for ambition, the house of ambition. Nitzak for the house of value. And Hod for the house of health, right? So, Earth is something that's manipulated and then left there. That's what Earth is, right? It's manipulated by all of the elements, but also creates that foundation. So without the Earth there, there'd be nothing for you to stand on. But the Earth is also being afflicted by everything that's on it. So understand the level of trials and why it's seeming so hard. But when it comes up to growing, how does a mountain get so high? That's a big Earth, right? That's big Earth. How does it get so high? It uses the wind, it uses the heat, it uses the sun, it uses everything. So this manipulation and manifestation energy that you got going on with the earth signs, be careful, because you can manipulate others too. It's very easy, especially for somebody who knows the goods. Oh, do this, it would be good. And it is, because that's your gift. Y'all know what to choose. The Hierophant is what clears it. So let me get to the Hierophant really quickly. So marriage, alliance, captivity, servitude by another account, mercy and goodness, inspiration, the man to whom the current has recourse, right? So I explained something before, how you did everything to the point where you were burnt out, right? But that was all in manifestation. You created a whole bunch of things that are now gonna... You know how dirt goes into a ball, and when you condense it, it becomes a rock. Keep condensing it, it becomes something else, right? It could become steel, you know, right? But that's what's happening here. All of this work is gonna gather in your life, almost as if like you were blessing yourself in the future and didn't know it. Oh, this is why this happened, right? This is why I went through this, because I created this after that, and I needed that in order to do this. It's going to be revealing the puzzle pieces. And notice I said revealing. You're not going to be looking for this. It's going to be shown to you. Alright, so when we get to after the body, you have air, which is the death card right now. The death card is a water card. Now, water is neutral to air, right? So that means that there's not growth here, but the energy can pass. Meaning like you're used to feeling like everything that you do for yourself would turn out bad. So you can almost get past it now. You've thought all of the thoughts of how you can fail. You ain't got no more thoughts left. So you can't even think about how you can fail any more than you already have. So the only thoughts you have now are the ones that you have where you're in abundance, you're growing, you're winning. It's the only thoughts that are going to start coming to you right now. That's what I'm got it to say right now. But let's see what the card is saying. Okay. So 2 cards came out. Now I don't know what to do. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to put them back. I don't like it. There was too much deciding on my part. Okay. That's great. More water, right? And let's just keep going. The 9 of Cups. So you really in your feelings with all of this failure thoughts that you can think of. It's leaving you sitting down. You don't even want to move. Why move? Why even do it? It's just gonna turn out bad. That's all the programming. That's not truly what you're saying to yourself. It's more like, I think I can do it, but I need a push or a reason to make it work so I can put my best out there. That's what it's giving me right now. So I'm just got it to pluck. Judgment is another water card. Oh man. Yeah, we can already tell where this is going. And it's the Hangman is in. All right, we can already see where this is going. Okay, this one almost twisted out of here. And let me shuffle, because let's just not blame anybody real quick for making you really believe in something else other than yourself so hard, to the fact that you needed so much work with your heart. This is heartbreak on another level. This is heartbreak on another level. Man, just to know that you had it the whole time. You didn't even have to go through all those things. Just to know that you already had it. Like, it's so annoying. Like, why did I have to go through that? Because you were supposed to learn something. Remember I said eat the energy? This all right here, when you eat this energy, is going to go to your desire. I hope you understand that. All the access is going to go to the next portion. All the excess energy, when you clear things out, all right, now this cycle is complete. We got a lot to talk about. So we started with the death card, right? Then from the death, God said, this is what's happening in this energy. Then you need to do this. Then this is gonna happen. Then this is gonna happen. And then this is gonna happen, right? So, Death card, 9 of Cups, Judgment card, the Hangman, to the 7 of Pentacles, and then to the King of Swords. We gotta read these. So, let's get down to it. Well, I already read, you believe it's the end, mortality, destruction, corruption, also for a man, the loss of a benefactor for a woman, many contrarieties, for a maid, failure of marriage projects. So, anything that you think that you're co-creating, you thought that was gonna just blow up in your face. We already discussed that. So moving on from there, we went to the 9 of Cups, right? The 9 of Cups. Now, this has to do with your polarity. Things coming together. They can't come together if you believe it's gonna blow up, right? It can't come together. Concord, contentment, physical, bien-être, I don't even know what that means. Also victory, success, advantage, satisfaction for the client or the person for whom the consultation is made. You had to realize the people who are taking advantage of your emotions behind this. Not just your body. The emotions get you to do things. They don't control your body. They can sway your emotions. Right? So, they gassed you up. You know, that person who wasn't told that they could not sing, that went on the American Idol thing and tried to sing? They gassed you up. They said, oh yeah, you can sing for years. For years. And you believed until you were put in that place where you were supposed to do the thing. Y'all know how that turned out. Multiple times. People don't have real friends. There's a lack of real friends in this world. There's a lack of real friends. Because I'm not telling my friend to go out there. If she cannot sing, if he cannot sing, no. I'm going to tell you that straight in your face. Alright. That to the Judgment card. Judgment, I like to think of it as like a tsunami. Tsunami over a dry land. So, yes, it's destructive. But that land was so dry that it needed all of that life. So judgment was necessary. So you had too many emotions that flooded onto your land, but it was dry. It needed it anyway, right? You overworked yourself. Too many emotions, right? But like I said before, if there's no water down here, what can you actually manifest? These are seeds. Yeah. So judgment, a change of position, renewal, outcome, another account, specifies total loss through lawsuit. So, like I said, I said this before, God is going to put you in a place where, here it is, sorry. God is going to put you in a place where it's going to be so awkward that you're winning and you're not doing anything. It's like, but what am I actually doing? You're so used to working so hard. Working for yourself is so easy, it's like you're not doing anything. So you don't feel like you're working. You don't feel like you're going towards your abundance. You've been working so hard for other people, you can't even see it. And this is why the judgment is here. The emotions that came behind that eventually is going to even some stuff out. Let's see. God heard your cry, it seems like, and moved you to this position. So enjoy it. Well, you're about to enjoy it, so get ready. From judgment to the hanged man, wisdom, circumspection, discernment, trials, sacrifice, intuition, divination, prophecy, right? So this is allowing yourself to believe in yourself. Allowing yourself to do healthy thoughts. This has to do with affirmations also. So if you have been on the affirmation wave, waking up in the morning, even like saying something against somebody when they say something on your life. So let's just say one of your good friends, it don't matter who it is, it could be a good friend, bad friend, everybody slips up. Everybody has programming, right? So when somebody says something to you like this, oh, that don't look right. This is this. Now you should be doing this. What I started to do was overriding with words too. So it lets them know that that's not how I think. This is how I believe it's going to happen. And we can agree to disagree. So it's like it's mental blocking all of those words so you can reprogram yourself right when it happens. Don't even allow it to go in and do anything to you. Say, okay, that's great. That's how you think, and I acknowledge that. But this is what I believe. Straight. It's not disrespectful, and I think it'll help out a lot. But that's what the hanged man, allowing it to happen and just let it flow. Yeah. And finally, we end off with the King of Swords. Whosoever arises out of the idea of judgment and all its connections, power, command, authority, militant intelligence, law offices, of the crown, and so forth. So this is knowing yourself and creating a structure for yourself, a schedule for yourself that's so good and operates with who you are naturally to all of your faults. And you lined it up so well that it's like you're flowing. It's like if anything intrudes in that process, you know it's not right for you. Because you allotted, let's put it this way, you've allotted energy to all the places in your life. That's what it's giving me. It's like you have a schedule and a sheet that allots all the energy in your life, where you're going to be using this, how much you're going to be using this, what to make sure not to do, and it's pinpoint to who you are, and now nobody can mess with you. You've got the defenses that you need. You've got the mental clarity that you need. The sun here is speaking out to me. So, I don't know why naked and afraid just came out of nowhere in my mind. Left to the elements, letting it flow, but also using your skills to survive. Don't think that you're not here to survive. Don't just fall out and expect God to do anything, right? So that's it with your polarity. When it comes up to the fire, you have the Page of Wands. This is in affinity, so you don't have to worry about this at all. So let's get it. Dark young man, faithful, a lover of envoy, a postman beside a man. Beside a man, he will bear favorable testimony concerning him. He is a dangerous rival, if followed by the Page of Cups. Luckily, they're on the right sides in alignment. So, in affinity. So, this is not working against each other. Because I see what they're saying. This is finally coming into your power. Not knowing everything about it, but using your manifestation properly in low quantities for yourself. Or the quantities that you can understand. The quality that you can understand. But look how concentrated he is. No cares but this one staff. Wand, whatever. This place is about you always had faith in yourself. And that's what was driving everything already. You already had confidence in yourself. But it's like, what made you believe that pleasing everybody else was the way to please yourself? Moving on to the Knight of Wands, which is in the place of Earth. Now, fire and Earth are neutral to each other. That means that energy can pass. That fire is holding place for something. Something is being burned out of your life currently right now, and it's being done by you. You can see where this is going. And you got your armor on. They can't hold you. Your heart is guiding you. Departure, absence. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. This has to be water or earth. It could be water if it's supporting, but we're going to end off with earth. I want to be specific today. Alright, so I got sidetracked a little bit. My phone died. And I'm going to just pick up from where I remember. So hopefully it's not too cut off. I'm on the Lovers right now. I explained the page. And Lovers is an air card. And it is in the wrong place. So let's just see what we need to do to get that fixed. The affinity for the air, the Lovers, what it's telling me right now, white or black believing that it's going to be the death of you or it's going to be the best for you. But it's nothing in between. There are some things that you have to go through that you might not like. Of course, like I was saying before, it's coming back to me now. This speaks to a balance. So let's see. The Seven of Cups. Let's get it. Because this guy, these cards was talking about walking away from something. And the Seven, what is it, new beginnings? The Lovers is in the place of cause and effect. And it started to make sense to me because attraction, love, beauty, trials, and trials overcome. Imagine some of the worst things and the best things that you've been through in your life. Did you plan those things to happen? Or did they just kind of happen randomly? The best things you enjoy. right? But there's a balance to it for a reason. It's through the lessons. You can have abundance all the time, but no, let me not say it that way. When it comes up to attraction, right? What's for you and what you're calling towards yourself, right? Belief is very powerful because the things of that nature that you believe come towards you because you attract it towards you. You attract that energy towards you. All the things that are of it comes towards you. So, not that it's for you, but you're doing it, so it's coming towards you. So this gives me the idea of you're not too much in your mind about the negatives or the positives because you were gassed up so hard. How can you really believe anything besides yourself right now? So it's just like, I'm just gonna follow myself until I hit the next obstacle. That's all it seems like you're thinking about right now. Like, it's the best way to get where you're going is to shut everything, all the other programming off. You shut the other programming off, you can flow. Fairy favors, images of reflection. Okay. Sentiment, things seen in the glass of contemplation. Some attainment in these degrees, but nothing permanent or substantial is suggested. So, don't put too much thought into the end goal. Have an idea where you want to go, and don't get too fixed on how it's supposed to be. Because you're an earth sign, and how it's supposed to be is how it's supposed to be. This ground that's outside is supposed to be ground tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it's supposed to be the ground the next day. I expect it to be ground, and if it's not ground, I have nothing to walk on, so it must be ground. You see what I mean? Like, you're of the nature of completeness, almost. The 8 of Cups. I don't even know why I read for the 7 just now, but the 8 of Cups speaks of, wow, antithetical giving, joy, mildness, timidity, honor, modesty. You've gotten used to the emotional letdowns, so you're able to move past it. That's what this is about. The emotions that used to stop you in your tracks, the things that happened to you that were just a detriment to your life, and you're just like, oh, my life is never going to be the same. It's going to be the worst from here on now. Those emotions don't hold so much weight in your heart anymore, in your mind anymore. So you can move past them. And that's a good thing. Emotional control is everything. When you control your emotions, it goes to desire. If you don't control your emotions, it just goes to your mind. So last but not least is the Knight of Wands, and that has to do with Earth. That is in the place of Earth, and it is not Earth, so it's not an infinity. Let's see what it says. Let's see how we can fix this. Perfect. Because you have the Lovers here and the Two of Pentacles here. Decisions and emotions. Kind of the same thing that's happening right now. What should I do? What should I do? One or the other. Either way is going to lead to your abundance. That's what it's giving me right now. But let's see what it says. Even the ships are going through waves, topsy-turvy, topsy-turvy. So, you know how an hourglass, after it's finished, just like how this is saying, like you're finished with the emotions, you can move past it now. How an hourglass is finished, you need to turn it upside down. This is what this is giving me right now. You're going to take control of your time more by making the decisions that you knew that was for you without any of the clutter. And that only comes after the fact of you getting rid of the clutter. So maybe this has to do with cleanliness. If you are a low-key hoarder, get rid of some things. Why? Because it'll make space for something new, and also you can see. If you can't see what you have, you don't know what you need. And also, like I was saying before, if the whole message that's out right now, floating around, is you have what you need. And if you don't see it because it's messy, how could you find it and use it? So it could translate into different parts of your life, whether it be your logical thoughts that are seemingly illogical, or your emotions. Alright, so that is it for the Pneuma effect. And the last on the parts of the readings is the star stream. And this has to do with your experimentation, expression, integration, and transcendence. And then after you transcend, you basically are free to experience and do anything you want to get back to your aspiration, the reason why you came here. You're free to take everything you know to get towards it. So I hope you're gonna understand that part. So we're gonna draw 5 cards. I will have oracle cards soon. That's my goal. Soon enough to have oracle cards to give me a better explanation of what should be happening here. So these cards has nothing to do with affinity. I'm gonna put them in the places of the elements. The star stream is about the mechanical effort on your part. So here's where you get the ideas from what you can use around you. So now that you have your mind cleared, your body, you should be knowing what to do with that. Your spirit should be unblocked, giving you what you need. And now you almost get a roadmap to how to get to your aspiration, your enlightenment. Okay. Starting with the 5 of Wands. Then to the Knight of Cups. The Devil was faced up in the deck and I didn't even see it. So let's see if it comes back out again. The Knight of Pentacles. And now we have the 4 of Wands. So let's see what this says. When it involves your experimentation or what you're supposed to experiment with, the things that are around you, this is saying that the 5 of Cups is telling you, the 5 of Wands is telling you, it says imitation, for example, sham fight, the strenuous competition and the struggle of the search after riches and fortune. Hence, some attributions say that it is a card of gold, gain, and opulence. So, this is a fight. This is a fight for the things that you, it seems, created. So, it seems that somebody's using something that's yours. It could be a thing. It can be something that you do. A service that you have. This, for me right now, is giving me a card of rivals. Because sometimes in order to grow, you need somebody who's just as good as you to compete with. So, maybe not the position that you're in. The type of work that you do forces you to be a little bit competitive. But that's good, because it's bringing out the best in you. So, go towards things that give you more of a sense of competition. So that's what it's telling me right now. Do things, experiment with the things that give you a sense of competition. If that resonates with you, feel free to write a comment in the comment box below. Then from there we went to the Knight of Cups. That's your experimentation with the earth right now. But when it comes up to your expression, it's the Knight of Cups. So how should you be expressing what you find out? You should express it. This is giving me say it with your chest. Say it with your chest so it's undebatable. What are you arguing over? I gave you my whole opinion, so there's nothing to debate. That's my whole opinion. Stand by it. You know what I mean? What you do, stand by it. Don't let it crumble under the weight of other people's judgments. God gave you the first judgment. Where is it? Oh, oh yeah. Facing other people's judgments. Yeah. Judgments just chip at what you came here to do. Ignore them. Say it with your chest. And let them go about their day. Right? So, after that, you have the Knight of Pentacles in your integration. So, after you create it, you say it with your chest. Now it has to be a part of your life. You have to create habits around this new thing that you found, right? So, in creating these good habits, the Knight of Pentacles is saying utility, serviceableness, interest, rectitude, and responsibility. So, interest and servitude, that gives me, there's a service that you can offer, obviously lucrative. And we're not even going to talk about the money that's coming right now. I got goosebumps thinking about it. There's probably some kind of service that you can offer. Might not have to be a product. It could be some kind of talk. Maybe you are a person who uses your words. Maybe you are a person who just uses other people's things better than them. You know? You can make money in so many different ways. It's out here. Yeah. There's value in what you can offer. So figure out the value and, you know, experiment with it. Alright. And from there you have the 4 of the 6 of Wands. I said the 4 last time. Oh, okay. So basically, what this is giving me is the belief. How to transcend something is like you've in it, you're creating it, and what to do next with it. How to grow it. How to make it better. You make it better by, it's the belief of it. You make it better by believing in it. Because when you believe in it, your energy goes towards it. And if all of this pinnacle energy is coming towards you, that means you already have the concrete knowledge to make the thing. So your belief will just unlock this concrete knowledge to make things. I completely forgot about the ego, the id, and the superconscious. So let's just do it now. Completely forgot about it. But like I said, everything is in perfect order. Divine timing. So for the superconscious, this is the place of your gift, right? Your gift is the star, and what you're going towards is the sun. So this is very etherical, is very much in your mind. So your gift is a mental thing. So the thoughts and imagination that you have give you a sense of value. It increases your value. And this is why, where it comes up to, okay, the thoughts that you have increase your value because it's probably specific to what you're doing. Whatever kind of job you have, whatever role you play in this life, whatever role you do. Yeah. Okay, so the stars in the superconscious, and that's your gift. Your gift is being yourself. Your gift is bringing out the best of yourself. Your gift is showing the world. You know how a star gives you constellations, right? And that gives you an anchor. So your gift is with the mental anchor. Maybe you are a person who can give somebody a talk, and after this talk, they will have like a concrete knowing of themselves. You have a gift to tell somebody something about. You have a gift to tell somebody about themselves, and it finally gives them that knowing of who they are, so they can hold on to it. It's like you can show them. I don't know why they say where their center is. The core of who a person is. You have some affiliation with that. So, just look into it. See what your gift can do. But when it comes to the gift, this air card can fill any space and even out any place. Or add on to it, right? So, any place that was opposite of air, that any place that had the air in it was being helped by your gift. So understand that maybe I needed to do that first. It took all of this work from God, right, to do something that you could have did yourself. Now imagine if God didn't have to work that hard. What would happen? Only abundance. He doesn't have much to work on besides abundance. You've completed a lot of things. You're learning on your own accord, in the right pace for yourself. You're learning. You're pouring into yourself. There's something about knowing the right season to plant. So let's go to the id, which is basically your identity, and it's a zodiacal identity. I think I said that correctly. Zodiacal identity. So let's look at it. The strength card. Alright. So tough. It gives me toughness. Okay, I'm just gonna pluck this last one. The Queen of Wands. So let's read what the star says for your gift. Your identity and what you work with, and how you use that with the personality that you have. So just to say it again, the gift you hold, who you are, and what you are. So it seems like you instill hope in other people. So that's your gift. Somehow, it might not just be hope in general. It might be something else that has to do with hope. But think about it for yourselves in a way it resonates with you. The hope that you bring can actually bring some money towards you. Whether it's spiritual money or actual physical money. Spiritual money is better in my book, because that's like karma, good karma. When it comes to the strength, this is the earth sign reading. So power, energy, action, courage, magnanimity, also complete success and honors. Strength card is a fire card, and the fire is neutral to earth, right? Queen of Wands is a fire, and it's all neutral to earth. Your spiritual strength is beyond amazing. People can see it from a mile away. They speak one word from your mouth, and they know where you coming from. Like, they can understand you completely. So I believe that there's a lot of strength in the words that come out of your mouth. And it also comes with the Queen of Wands, which is using this fire strength, right? Because this is coming from the ether. When it comes up to you and how you're using it pretty good. Let's see what the Queen of Wands is saying. This is all in how you're using your gift. So you got a lot of power behind it. Now let's see how you're using it. For some reason, I was asked to say or to tell you, when you feel like giving up, just sit in your power. I know that's tricky, because anytime you sit, you are in your power. You are telling God that I believe that you will make it work. And God is like, well, I guess I gotta make it work. You believe it, right? It's almost like that force and ignorance behind you believing God is enough to get him to move on your life, her to move on your life. And you are always in good hands regardless. So this is what I'm getting for the earth signs, and I'm glad you were able to make it to the reading. I hope you enjoyed the content. Like the video, share it with some of your favorite readers. I'm trying to get this concept out to the community in general. So with your help, I'm sure I'll get there. And this is what we're here for. If you have any questions, there's my email in the description box below. There's also my Cash App. Also, there is the app that I'm going to be creating. And everything that you see here, the structure is going to be there for all of the readers to read for you. And it's going to be very good. Hopefully, I can get this out by next year. You know, somewhere in the beginning of the year. I'm a person who this idea is going to manifest itself once it gets there. So hopefully when the community gets their eyes on this, I can, the word is out already, and we can see this on our phones. We can use this for so much more than what we see the cards is being used for now. Imagine the kingdom of your mind accessible through your phone. So that's what I'll leave you with last. My name is Kai-Fi. This is a Kai-Fi Theory. Peace.